Welcome to the bold analysis. When CS Fred Matiang'i's home was allegedly raided on 9th February, Raila Odinga was there, the very first leaders to be there, with lawyer Dunstan Omari in the Citizen TV gaze, or rather the media team. And it will then come out that never was, or it happened. And I think even Raila confessed that even if Matiang'i lied on it, then so what, this matter had come to an end. But he had gone there with people, in fact, alienda on slippers, people asking, so why do you think he was called into it? So that's number one. Two, I'm talking about two instances. The other second instance, at the height of, by the time there was a well-coordinated plan to take over Uhuru's Jubilee Party, Raila's come into action. And is swinging into action and has come out to call out the state on that move, and even visited the Jubilee HQs, Jubilee headquarters. You know what again is going on? And from a political perspective, I'm trying to look at this in terms of how Raila is projecting himself, or rather the Azimio, and whether it has the potency of maybe repackaging him moving ahead. And I want to say that the projection that people see, and if you look at Twitter, people are asking, Raila kukila mahali. Is he the next? Is he the one now that's running the show? And he's everywhere. But the general perception also is that he might be projecting himself as the defender of the people. I don't know if they agree with me up to that level. If you look at Raila of 2013 to 2017, was a defender of the people. NYS, Eurobond, and he was kept on saying that nyinyi wa Kenya mkeni hii mambo yendi sawa hii, yendi sawa hii, yendi sawa. So there was a lot of talks about what was not going right and what was going wrong by that time. But in 2022, he lost that position. And I do agree with those who say that at one point, when Raila became more of defending the government, he lost it at that moment. He actually lost his popularity at that moment. And then coming up to repackage, really took him time, especially the script was after the fall of BBI. So with the new development, Raila is cutting the image of people's defender. And this would really edge him out against Kalonzo and the other new principles. Now, if you look at this video on your screen, this is when the time he went to Jubilee headquarters accompanied by the people. There was also another point. He went, and if you compare that with the time the Kanini Kegas and the team went to Jubilee headquarters, they went to the police. When Raila went there, he went with the people. So in this video, I want us to look at this because there is a delicate balance as to whether the image of defender of the people is actually defender of the population or defender of the big boys. It's a very delicate, a very thin line between the two. And that's what I want us to talk about in this video. Let's see on what exactly is going on. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our videos. When you like our videos, that's how YouTube will suggest them to many, and it will get many views. So I want to thank you very much for those who are supporting us from every part of the world. Now, I need to mention that I don't think it's not the first time. In 2018, when Jim Wanjigi's home was raided, He defended Jimmy. And he spent the whole night in Jimmy's place. The police were going there and they found him there. The same story, I do believe that he tried to some extent to help Miguna as to what I saw. But whether he had the good intention to make sure it remains here or not, I cannot ascertain. But as to what I saw, there was a bit of that attempt. Then, there have been a referral, and if I want to tell you, the pattern is to project him as the people's defender. When you look at, when you listen to the speech at Mtaani's place and the other speech at Jubilee headquarters, Azimio seems to be talking about projecting a Ruto that is referring back the country to the Moi days, with a very clear mind of showing that we are being taken back to those days. My only challenge is here. The millennials that are receiving this message now only see the short term. They only see what they're seeing now and a bit of the 20s moving forward. So even when you tell them, when they're told about we are going back to Moi days, it lacks the spark among them. And you know, and you see, successful Ruto is trying to suppress the history. Look at the events of Jamhuri Day. It became something else. It was turned to something else. You look at the way the pattern and the policies that Kenya Kwanza seems to be advancing, they're against giving prominence to those, to the history days. So, I want to talk about this in terms of, then what am I seeing in a plan to project Raila as people's defender? The public image, the public defender image would be good if it is projected, but make sure that you tag the youth along. And that is why I'm of a strong liking. I have a strong liking for that youth movement aspect. The youthful team in it, they would actually be the vision bearers, because at the end of the day, there is also a generational transition going on. That transition is going to catch up. It's just a matter of time. And I know that is why the rebel MPs from Nyanza are also seeing that transition and they're opting, we can move out of shadow of mzee kwa sababu kwanza mzee atatupatia vijana, hapa mbele ni vijana watakuwa. So that transition being it's coming, it will be good if it's not on Raila but on an Azimio, so that the Azimio becomes more of the defender, people's defender movement or coalition. Whether it's Kalonzo, whether it's Martha Karua, whether it's Eugene Wamalwa, whether it's the youths, it should be for defense. The other aspect that I also see here is with the pinching cost of living, it would be nice to swing it more on Mwananchi. Yes. I saw today Gaucho donating, I think, some ungas to some people in Kibera slums. Not Kibera, in I think the slum where it comes from. I don't know where that place is. And when you go that direction, it will get the spark better and will cut the demographics. In fact, I have listened to some people saying, we don't need affordable housing, we need food. Now, because you need food, be practical, give food. In fact, you can do unga, you can do food. They have the capacity. So that the defense is more on Mwananchi. Remember, Ruto campaigned on the platform that Raila was not defending Mwananchi and himself was seen as defending Mwananchi. But should swing away from defending mwenye nchi. That will be good and suppress Uhuru's defense narrative. I think there's too much defense of Uhuru Kenyatta, which can still be done by Azimio but other avenues. It must not be Raila. I think let the others also. There are Kionis, there are Babus. Let win the trust of the other young people, or even win the trust of media that people defend, but then suppress more of Uhuru defense, because you seem not to, the cause doesn't get its natural identity. It looks like more of a push from behind. So it's toxic because the reason why Uhuru's defense is a bit toxic for Azimio, especially in the mountain, because of the Rigathi Gachagua factors. The Rigathi Gachaguas of this world are still going after Uhuru Kenyatta. And they're still telling their supporters that Uhuru will watesa. So that baggage at least needs to be dropped. Then I see, I think they will look at a model that will bring everyone on board, even non-political players, as to what the kind of mobilization that Ruto did to drop the BBI. He went for everyone. You know, like BBI, yule mtu alitaka kuangusha BBI, haikuwa hata hiyo katiba institute hizo ni. Ilikuwa Ruto mwenyewe. Yeye mwenyewe ndiye alitaka kuangusha. Lakini what he did, he went for some other non-political players so that the cause would make it worthy. Na mtu hangeona, as much as the political team are taking credit, but you see, when you see Katiba Institute, I don't know which institute and who, other non-political players into it, even Martha Karua was it. Martha Karua gave it validation. So it boosts the validation. In fact, for the cost of living, there are other non-political players that are in that place, that space. They should have a model they can still talk about. In fact, you want to talk about the economy, you want to make these forums, organize forums where you will talk with organizations or other non-political players on these factors. You will still take that conversation forward. That's my take. Let me look at why we are going to Givenchy. What exactly is on table?